1960s Taiwan, the island nation ruled by Kuomintang, and the people were living under a stringent martial law and what transpired as what they called the White Terror, when many activists and even young students had been slain for purportedly accused of something they may or may not be guilty of. The fear suffered from students living in this tempestuous time led to a story like Detention, which used the time period as a backdrop of a horror story that was certainly something fresh as compared to the usual supernatural origin from Taiwan. Detention, or Fan Xiao, from director John Su, was based on the video game of the same name developed and published by Red Candle Games. The plot of the game encompassed the ongoings of our heroine, Fang Ruixing's vendetta against a female teacher, misunderstanding her relationship with the male art teacher Zhang Minghui, but led to the unfortunate demise of an underground literature and cultural club, which of course was frowned upon during this White Terror era. As I got acquainted with the plot unraveling in the game itself, I realized that director Su and his co-writers of the movie adopted a non-linear style of narration but worked well to create the ominous mood as we as the audience unraveled the mystery shrouding the characters' backstories and their eventual fates. While Fang was still the protagonist of the story, Su and his writing team also carved Wei, Fang's junior who was involved in the secret book club, and the audience conduit to the tension smothering the school and the witch hunt from the government and the military. The skin-crawling first act with Fang and Wei trapped in a dreary school compound, trying to figure a way out both figuratively in life and objectively in that situation. The white facade of the school building, strewn with dilapidated classrooms and the dated furnishing, as well as littered and plastered with either government's propaganda or creepy words signifying mourning or death. As the young couple meandered through the dimly lit corridor under incremental weather conditions, the mood was wonderfully crafted for horror fans like myself, and seeing apparition in the dark crevices was effective to trigger the goosebumps. Trying to retrieve a key from the school's janitor revealed an unnatural ongoings as we were introduced to the scary ghost constable, which the game labeled as Lingered or Huang Liang. These evil constables seem to be uttering propaganda from the government and be assigned to help the government to catch anyone who did not toe the line of the ruling party. The plot dragged its feet in the middle act as we slowly got into the motive behind Fang's action, while internal squabbling within the secret book club set Wei torn with his allegiance and his affection for Fang. Set in a time when people could not express their affection towards each other willy-nilly, while staunch conservative nature due to the combination of the martial law and the innate nature of Asian people, it was down to the unspoken words, the little hints through nuanced acting and body languages to tell the audience of the actions of each character. I read on the Wikipedia page that it cost the coffers about US 3.8 million to make this movie, and I thought it was every penny well spent on display, with Su teams consistently and successfully created the chilly mood. The school compound, which reminded me so much of the famous haunted hospital in my country, was a fantastic backdrop, and the pieces of white paper written with words like "in mourning" was effective to unsettle the characters and audiences alike. I was also immersed in the period production value with the costume and furnishing, to even just a stairwell towards a temple that really captured the time period, which might be bleak, yet the beauty of nostalgia was overflowing. A large chunk of the storytelling within the foreboding school hall was to the point, and for a transient period, a refuge for the characters, but it transformed so effortlessly into a place filled with dread, fear, and mortality. While the CGI was not entirely convincing, it did not distract from the storytelling. The music score and the sound production helped elevate the chill factor as well. The aesthetics of the game reminded me of a Junji Ito style of horror. While the film itself was hard to reproduce that sensibility, I thought it captured a substantial amount of the essence of the game's aesthetics. In terms of performances, the likes of Ginger Wang in the role of Fang, Fu Mengbo as the caring Mr. Zhang, and Zheng Jinghua as the headstrong Wei were all on the onset of their acting careers, but all had a decent showing, especially Wang, whose performance earned her a nomination in the Golden Horse Awards that year. The movie itself accumulated an impressive 12 nominations at the 56th Golden Horse Awards and successfully clinched awards like Best New Director for John Su, Best Visual Effects, and Best Art Direction. Su showed a lot of promise in his debut feature and showed subtlety in storytelling based on solid story created by the Red Candles gaming team. His follow-up was 2024's Dead Talent Society, a horror comedy which from synopsis might seem like Monster Inc. meets Chinese superstition and reunited with actress Ginger Wang. Speaking of superstition, although it was not too overt in presentation, there were elements like Fang's mother doing daily praying and letting higher power to guide her through her subsequent actions using Jiao Bei was something so intrinsic in the Taiwanese people's culture even till these days. The ending of the plot reminded me a lot of the sad touch in Hideo Nakata's Dark Waters, which tied this beautiful film with a bow. Detention was hailed as one of the best Taiwanese horror features in recent years, and the solid filmmaking and storytelling was on screen for all to see. It is an 8 upon 10 from yours truly. Please like and share this video and let me know if you'd like me to do more reviews of solid Asian horror offerings. The preceding review was on Tillman Singer's Cuckoo, which I also touched on the prospering on the studio Neon. Now, let me run away from the Slender Man-like librarians as I tried to smuggle books from the library to my own version of a secret book club.